The Archer family hurt, confused, and starting to put the pieces together. They share their grief with us tonight. Another man is missing, this one 28 years old and has a mental condition. Hear how you can help. Scores of students pledge a crime-free life. Hear the stories of many that have turned their lives around. And the PLP shares its plans for a better economy and stronger job market. It's all coming up this Thursday, September 29th, on the Bahamas Tonight, starting right now.
Covering the islands of the Bahamas, ZNS Network presents the Bahamas Tonight.
Great to have you along this evening. I'm Shanique Miller. This is the Bahamas Tonight National Report. New developments in the case of 11-year-old Marco Archer tonight as police move closer to bringing charges. Meantime, the grieving family revealing the shocking information that they've learned since their son and brother went missing, and the horrific experience of going to the morgue to make formal identification of their loved one. Tonight, we hear from the family members and also what the latest investigations are showing. Clint Watson picks up the story.
Police are just about done with the investigation into the ordeal surrounding 11-year-old Marco Archer. But now they've reportedly expanded their investigation to see if there are other cases that their prime suspect might be involved in. ZNS News has learned that officers are reviewing past cases and files that are reportedly involve sexual matters to see whether there is any connection with the suspect. Once they've completed this process, we're told they will be ready to address the media and file charges in the courts. Now we can confirm from police that contrary to rumors, while these cases possibly may involve sex and young kids, they do not involve any missing children. Meantime, there's still no positive identification on the gruesome remains of a young boy found in bushes off Yorkshire Street, Cable Beach yesterday. While it is strongly believed that those remains are 11-year-old Marco Archer, today both his parents were taken to the RAND laboratory for a DNA test. Back at Marco's home, the rest of his family sat outside, still providing much-needed support for each other. They cannot help but mull over in their heads what happened and how, in their view, too little was done early in the process.
We told the police about it to check the cameras.
Do you know whether they followed that through?
They did, but when they did. They did, but when they did. They checked the cameras. We told them that from Friday night. They checked the cameras Monday.
We watched them, the police, come over there and collect that footage on Monday afternoon. We watched them go over there in that gas station and get it. You know when they find our brother? Tuesday. If they didn't collect that footage from Saturday, our brother would have probably mightn't have been alive because it's possible that he was dead from Friday, Saturday.
What's also surprising for this family is that during their search with police was to find out that a number of sex offenders live in the neighborhood.
It's sad to see that we have these people living and communicating, all kind of children around here, and nobody knows what's going on. Putting these guys in jail for a couple years, and then how are you rehabilitating them? And you bringing them right back on the street to deal up with the same people who they molested and killed? How are we rehabilitating them?
To give you an idea how close Marco was to his home, this is the shop where he was going to buy candy. We don't know yet whether or not he actually made it to this shop, but it's a short distance from where he lives. Actually, cameras would have picked him up passing to go to this shop. We're told cameras from the gas station, which is to my left, would have picked him up actually moving. Once Marco would have gotten to the end of this corner where he lives, he would have to cross the main Blue Hill Road. This main road would, of course, connect him from his home to where the actual shop was.
I couldn't make it to the morgue.
On Wednesday, the family members who were strong enough had the most difficult time going to the RAND laboratory to identify those remains. Well, because of the condition of the body, they weren't able to give a positive ID.
The child was killed, tortured, and thrown away like a piece of dog. He was thrown away like dog. He was thrown away like dog. That right there was a sight that no one should want to see and even have to look upon.
Marco's sister Tancia says they want to ensure that their brother's death is not in vain, as they consider that he was a sacrifice for children everywhere.
He died for a reason, and the reason being is that all the other children that was hurt by this man now it's made public knowledge. It's not only Marco, it's other kids that was hurt and it wasn't made public. So now it's surfacing. It's surfacing because of Marco's death, and we need to do something about it. We need to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Clint Watson, ZNS News.
Meantime, anti-crime activist Rodney Munker calling for policy changes in the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Munker was at the Archers' home on Broome Street off Wolf Road today, Blue Hill Road today, where he spent time with the family.
Once families show up and report that a relative is missing, that the police within an hour should be able to respond to that complaint and to start intensive search and investigation. So I think we have to learn from this particular experience.
Now, Munker says Parliament should enact legislation to ensure the courts carry out the will of the people. He says his pro-hanging organization is planning a march to Parliament on Wednesday.
The judges will have to recognize that the Constitution made it quite clear that while citizens are guaranteed certain fundamental rights and freedom, it is subject to public policy, national security, and the rights of the society. The society rights is greater than that of the individual.
Former president of the Bahamas Bar Association, attorney Wayne Monroe, also talking about the Marco Archer case today. Monroe, who is also a candidate in the upcoming general election for the Democratic National Alliance, addressed Rotarians today. He told them it's unfortunate that over the past 15 to 18 years, a lot of boys in the Bahamas have been abducted and murdered. The 43-year-old father of 5 says we need to be more focused and analytical in order to learn from these past experiences.
I am not saying that it is not right to be justly outraged by what is an atrocity. What we need to do more in this country is to be more focused and analytical. After all, we all know that you don't leave your briefcase on the back of your car in plain view in case someone busts your glass to steal it. So why is it that when these horrible things happen, we do not seem to be distilling from them the necessary lessons so that we can be safe and keep ourselves safe?
Another family is worried sick tonight about the whereabouts of their loved one. This time, he's in his late 20s and may be suffering from mental challenges. They came to our studios today hoping to get some help. They spoke with Clint Watson.
Oh, my son, come on. Oh, my son.
28-year-old Khalil Wright was last seen by his mother, Iceland Bostwick, early Monday morning at their Cotto Avenue home, just before she left for work. His mother says his disappearance isn't a normal thing as her son doesn't go far for long periods.
He don't bother nobody. He don't hardly talk. If you don't say nothing to him, he don't say nothing. He hangs out on East Street and Milton Street. I don't know why he goes there because everybody's running home. He just don't bother.
Khalil's mother says they have been searching for him, and although police have not yet released any official missing persons report to the media, she says they've also been helping her.
The CID been by me last night, and we went out by his baby mother to try to see if he was by his little boy. Most likely he missed his little boy, and he want to see his little boy, and the mother won't let him see him. Indy, if you hear this, please let my son see his son. Because I want my son to come home.
Bostwick says her son suffers from a mental illness, which she claims may be the result of drug abuse.
If you all heard about lace joint, somebody gave him a lace joint. And ever since then, I start seeing changes of him, like different attitude. And I had to take him up by silence to get help, and he came out perfect. The doctor said as long as he smoked, it will trigger it off. So most likely people would gain him drugs or smoke, and I asked them not to, and he just gone.
She says her son's disappearance is taking its toll on her.
He sleep and eat yet. I goes to work on my job because I love my job, but my boss them love me and they asked me to leave so I could get things straight. I want my son to come home, sir. I want him to come home.
Anyone who's seen Khalil anytime this week or may know any information that can help this family has asked to call police. Clint Watson, ZNS News.
Meantime, hundreds of students from various schools across the country being warned to stay clear of those negative influences that could lead to crime. The event marked the 4th annual Students Against Violence Everywhere Anti-Crime Youth Rally. Carla Palmer has this.
The crime rally could not have come at a more opportune time, with 104 murders on record so far this year and other serious crimes being committed. According to the 2008 National Secondary School Drug Prevalence Survey, with 12.7% of all students having tried marijuana at least once, Minister of National Security Tommy Turnquest challenged the students to not fall prey to drugs and crime.
Now, students, a very high percentage of the murders committed in our country today have been associated with the drug trade and have been perpetrated by persons associated with the illicit drug trade and the use of drugs. Involvement in the drug trade has had the high propensity of throwing one into a vicious cycle of drug use, crime, and in some cases, ultimately death. My message to you today is to avoid drugs, such as cocaine, such as marijuana.
During the rally, several students from both public and private schools were recognized for turning their lives around on a more positive path. Oxanique Smith and Crystal Bowles were among that group.
Each and every day, I watched my mother cry and begging me to finish school. When she cried, I cried. I finished TAP successfully, and now I'm back to City Meadows Senior High School. I am now a focused and successful young lady. I am getting good grades, and I'm working hard to achieve my goals. Somehow, I was lost and wanted to change, but felt as though my past was already fixed in the minds of those around me. I would sit back and watch others excel further than me, thinking not only that I should be there, but I could be there. Eventually, I began to label myself as a failure before even making an attempt. By replacing all of that insolence, anger, and confusion with submission, love, and patience, I went from 3 suspensions in 1 month to the top of my class.
For another consecutive year, the students were encouraged to stop and think before acting out in any negative manner that could lead to serious consequences of prison time or even death. To use their eyes to see and ears to hear, and with the information received, to make their home, church, community, and the nation overall a better place. Carla Palmer, ZNS News.